Hey guys, how you doing? Hope you're doing well. My name is Raelan and I'm going to be talking today a bit about my experience of living with and recovering from chronic fatigue syndrome, or CFS or ME, or whatever you prefer to refer to it as. So today is part 2 of a 2-part series. Last week was part 1, which was 8 happiness thieves, things to avoid while living with and recovering from CFS. So if you haven't checked that one out, I would definitely recommend it. I'll put a link for you somewhere here on the video. What I'm going to be sharing today are 8 things that I found to really boost my happiness and my resilience and just my overall emotional well-being while living with and trying to recover from CFS. But before I jump into those 8 things, it's important for you to know that I am not a counselor or a mental health professional of any kind. I'm simply someone who has lived with and done the hard work of recovering from CFS and now is sharing some of those things that I learned along the way for you to consider as options for things that maybe might be good for you to do as well. Now, developing new habits and skills around happiness is so important because our state of mind is always going to have a significant impact on our rate of recovery. Because when stress is chronic, it can actually lead to inflammation in your brain, which can cause depression. It can also impact your immune system. It can mess up your microbiome, that community of microorganisms living in your gut, which is so important for health. Stress doesn't come from what happens to us in life. It actually comes from how we react to it, from the skills we have to manage it, to handle it and keep going. So you are absolutely in control of how stress is impacting your recovery process. Now, the first thing I would recommend that you start doing is to set up some inspiration folders for yourself. You can do this on your phone or your computer or on a written notebook version somewhere. I have mine set up in my Dropbox account, so since they're in cloud storage, I can access them from my phone, from my computer, which I find really convenient. I do one for each day of the week, and in those folders, I put screenshots of anything and everything I come across in life that inspires me, that lights me up, that gets me motivated, that reminds me of what I'm working toward. So this might be quotes from books, this might be memes or quotes from Instagram, it might be screenshots of nice messages that people in my life have sent me, or just really inspired comments that people have put on my Instagram posts. It might be pictures of things that I want to achieve, places I want to visit. Anything that just puts me in a really positive, motivated state of mind. Having one set up for every day of the week means that it doesn't get too repetitive or too monotonous, so those messages are still somewhat fresh and inspiring when you read them. I read them every single morning, first thing when I get out of bed. I go to the kitchen, I grab a glass of freshly made lemon water, I sit down on the couch, and I sleepily open up my folder and go through what's in it for the day. And without fail, every single day, something in that folder is something that I really needed to see, or something that I really needed reminding of, something that just put some anxieties of mine to bed, or chased away some depression maybe that I was struggling with, something that just got me motivated, positive, and just reminded me of truly what was important to me in life. It's really a great way to start the day. The second thing I would recommend that you start doing is some sort of daily acts of service. These acts of service can provide a great buffer against stress and depression in your own life. Now, these things don't have to be big for them to be effective. It can be something as small and as simple as leaving a positive, supportive, really heartfelt comment on someone's Instagram post, or sending someone a direct message, just telling them how much they inspire you. Be genuine. Say it from the heart, and these small things can actually have a big impact on other people's lives. I know that when other people do these things for me, these comments from people, the messages that they take the time to send me, can change my whole day. If I'm struggling with something that day, that message from them might really just be the thing that turns it all around. And how amazing that a part of your healing process can actually be helping someone else out there as well. So I definitely recommend that you start incorporating some sort of act of service without expecting anything in return every single day, as much as possible. The third thing I recommend is seeking out laughter. Laugh as much as you possibly can. Laugh on purpose. Exaggerate your laugh. If something's mildly funny, laugh like it's the most hilarious thing you've ever seen or heard in your life. Schedule it into your day like some sort of therapy. Maybe every day at 4 o'clock is laughter time, and you put on a funny TV show or a movie or a comedian, or you invite over a funny friend, or you look at some funny accounts on Instagram. Just do something every day to get yourself laughing, and you will be amazed at what an impact this can have on your mindset. Now, the fourth thing I would recommend is to cultivate gratitude and success in your life every single day. So let's start with gratitude. I've been doing this one for years, and it changes in form as time goes on, but I always do something. So one way you could do this is every single night before you go to sleep, as soon as you crawl into bed, you build the habit of listing 3 things from your day that you're grateful for. And the incredible thing about this is it actually reshapes your experience of life, because when you know that you have to come up with these things every single day, you start looking for them in your life throughout the day. It creates this bias towards gratitude, which is a really powerful thing. Now, the second thing, which is cultivating success, I actually got from a woman named Rachel Hollis. I'm not sure how many of you are familiar with her, but she is amazing. I highly recommend you check out her work if you have not already. She's an author, she's a motivational speaker, and pretty much conquering the world at this point, I think. So inspired by her, I started keeping this success list. I do a lot of stuff on my computer, but this one I find is really powerful to actually grab a pen and write down on a piece of paper. So what I do is I write down everything that I want in life, everything that for me equals a successful life. So these can be some things that I already have, and this can also be things that I have yet to achieve. But no matter what it is, I write it down as if it's already happened. So this list could include things like, I travel to new and interesting places every single year, and I always fly first class. I am a great wife, I am an amazing daughter, and I spoil my dad all the time. It might be that I inspire people with my writing every single day, or that my videos help people every single day. And every time you sit down to write this list, it's okay if you repeat some things. It's actually good if you're repeating some things, because then you get to notice the pattern of what those things are that you're repeating over time. So then you get to really zero in on what is it in your life that's truly important to you. And then you know where to start, which goals that you should be tackling first. And there's something about putting them down as if they've already happened, as if they already exist. It's like they're already yours, and you are just have a couple more steps to do before you get there. Now, the fifth thing that I would recommend, and this is one that I think virtually everyone recommends, so I would be remiss if I didn't mention it, plus it's something that I do every day, this is meditation. I've definitely found that by controlling what happens in my mind for at least a small portion of the day, every single day, it has a significant impact on my happiness and my overall peace of mind. And researchers at Harvard have actually found that after only just a few weeks of regular meditation practice, that this can alter the expression of your genes, things that impact things like inflammation or oxidative stress. And studies have also shown that after only 8 weeks of meditating for 30 minutes every single day, it actually changes the hippocampus in your brain, and that is the area of your brain responsible for memory. And with CFS, something that impacts your memory so significantly, anything that you can do to combat that, I think is a really valuable use of time. And the sixth thing that I recommend that you start doing is keeping a celebration log. So this is some place where you keep a list of all of your successes, everything that you've accomplished in your healing process, big or small. It can be a really handy dose of perspective on days when you're struggling and you really just need to see that you actually are making progress. So let's say, for example, you have a day where you really struggled to get through a 5-minute workout and you're feeling kind of down about this. You can open up this log and you can look back to a time when getting the mail was marked down as a big achievement for you. And all of a sudden that 5-minute workout looks like a really big accomplishment. The seventh thing I recommend that you start doing is journaling. I journal virtually every single day. I'm not always excited to get started, but I always feel so much better afterwards. Some days it's only 1 or 2 sentences, and other days it's 1 or 2 pages. But every day, for the most part, no matter what, I get something down. It can be incredibly therapeutic and cathartic to write about your struggles every single day. It's a good opportunity to get your frustration out, get some of it out anyways, and during that process, you can examine what's going on and start to problem solve a bit and see some areas that might be holding you back, and some things that you can start doing to ease some of your struggles in the future. And as much as it's important to write about your daily struggles, it's also really important to write about any past struggles that you're still carrying around, any past traumas or things big or small that for whatever reason you don't seem to have been able to put down. It's easy to tell ourselves that the past isn't impacting our current life, but the reality is that most of us have some baggage that we're carrying around. No one gets through this life unscathed. We all have things, experiences that we've been through that for whatever reason are still impacting our ability to thrive right now. And when I was really honest with myself, I realized that there were some things I was carrying around that were still bringing me feelings of guilt or shame or feelings of inadequacy. So what I did to combat this is I started by making a list of what all these things were that I felt that I might still be carrying around. And once I got going, it was quite the long list. It covered things all the way back to my troubled teenage years, to my failed first marriage, to my own illness and subsequent lack of independence, to my mother's chronic illness, to my own substance abuse issues, to some past financial irresponsibility, my ongoing fears about aging, toxic quest for perfection. It was quite the long list. So one by one, I tackled each one of these things and I wrote about them. Most of them quite a few pages. And although it wasn't the easiest process getting all that out, I every single time felt so much lighter afterwards. And it's important when you're journaling to write about the good stuff in your life as well. Make a point every single day to write about some of the good things that are happening, because this really can help keep our focus in the right place. Now, the 8th thing that I would strongly recommend that you consider doing is to start seeing a professional counselor. I would see a professional counselor on a regular basis for the rest of my life if my budget permitted. Actually, I should add that to my success log because that's definitely one of my goals in life. Because I firmly believe that no matter what's going on, no matter how good or not good your life currently is, counseling can always help you make things better. The kind of support that you receive from a professional counselor is something that is incredibly difficult to replicate anywhere else. These people are trained specifically to help you work through your challenges, and they are there 100% for you. You don't have to worry about unloading too much on them or dumping too much on them or making it be too much about yourself, because that's exactly what they're there for. They are there to focus on you, solely to support you and to help you figure out how to be living the best version of your life possible. And there are so many great online options available now. There are many counselors that are more than happy to meet with you remotely. So you can meet with them through Skype or whatever online platform works for the both of you. All right, so to recap, our 8 happiness boosters while living with and recovering from chronic fatigue syndrome. Now, grab a pen and a piece of paper or open up a document on your computer, but take action. Do something right now to get started on a couple of these. So the first was setting up those daily inspiration folders. The second was the daily acts of service. Third is to laugh on purpose every single day. Fourth is to keep both a gratitude list and a success list. 5 is to meditate. 6, start that celebration log. 7, to journal about your daily struggles, about your past stresses, and about all the things that bring you joy in life. And 8 is to start seeing a professional counselor. Studies have shown that spending 1 hour per day on stress management techniques can significantly improve the healing process with chronic illness. Now, spending 1 hour a day might sound like a lot, but to put this in perspective, most people spend on average something like 5 hours per day on their smartphones, plus a considerable amount of time watching TV. So when something is important to us, if we really understand and believe in the benefits that it will bring us, then we will make time for it. And most of these things can be done lying down, many of them even with your eyes closed. So most of them really are doable, even for people who are facing chronic illness. So I'm really excited for you to set up some new habits in your life, start seeing a professional counselor, and if you need to talk to someone immediately, please contact one of the crisis lines in the links I've put below the video. And remember that one day, this day in front of us right now, is all that we ever truly have to deal with. So just work on mastering this one day and then keep doing that every day and let the future worry about itself. All right, that's all for today. Thank you so much for watching. I really hope that you found something here interesting or informative. And if you did, please hit that thumbs up button and the subscribe button below to let me know that you'd like to see more videos like this talking about chronic fatigue syndrome recovery. It would also be helpful if you could leave a comment letting me know topics that you'd like to hear more about, because it's really important for me to tailor this information to cover things that are truly useful for people. So I put out new videos each and every week, and I really hope you'll join me for the next one. So that's all for today. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope to see you next week.